Hello and welcome to Youth Destination IAS. My name is M.A. Alifer and I am the faculty of Mathematics Optional for UPSC, IAS, PCS since last 8 years and counting. So here we are to discuss some strategy about Mathematics Optional, which is very important optional subject in UPSC examinations. So now in the starting, a small overview for UPSC exams, how it is conducted by UPSC. Let us start with a very brief, very small introduction about UPSC. As you know, UPSC Civil Service Examination is conducted by, Civil Service Exam is conducted by UPSC for various posts like IAS, IFoS and IPS, IRS. These are specifically 4 posts, but besides these 4 reputed posts, there are many posts, mostly 22 plus posts are in UPSC Civil Service Examinations. But UPSC exam is conducted in a year, every year, and the notification is released in January to February each year, and this exam is conducted in 3 stages. So let us discuss some initial stages exams. UPSC conducts this exam in 3 stages. One is prelims, another is mains, and the last, third stage is interview, which is also called personality test. Let us discuss one by one what are these stages. In the prelims exams, there are 2 papers. One is general study and the second one is CSET. CSET, which is just qualifying exam. This is just qualifying. Okay? This exam is just qualifying. And you have to score only 33% out of 200 marks. Okay? So it is approximately 66.66. So we can say it is just equivalent to 67. So you have to score 67 marks out of 200 in the paper CSET, which is second paper of prelims examination. In first paper, which is also 200 marks, this is the paper in which you have to you can qualify the prelims exam. The whole prelims exam is just qualifying, and it is just as an screening exam for which you will be eligible for writing the mains exam in second stage. It means only prelims exam में आपके जो भी नंबर आएंगे वो सिर्फ फर्स्ट पेपर से, ये फर्स्ट पेपर है, और सेकंड सीसेट, दिस इज सेकंड सीसेट, सेकंड पेपर है. सो फर्स्ट पेपर के नंबर से ही आप स्क्रीनिंग के थ्रू मेंस एग्जाम के लिए एलिजिबल होते हैं. You will be eligible for the mains exam after just qualifying prelims, and there will be no counting of marks of prelims in final cutoff. Okay. After qualifying prelims exam, you have to write mains, which is 1750 marks. Total 1750 marks, which is divided in following categories. In mains exam, there are 9 papers. There are 9 papers. So 9 papers, in which 2 papers are qualifying, in which 2 papers are just qualifying. One is general Hindi, which is 300 marks, and in place of Hindi, you can take any one of the language in schedule 8 of our Indian Constitution, which have 22 languages. So in place of general Hindi, you can take any one of the language which are 22 language in our Indian Constitution of schedule 8. On the other hand, English, this is the second paper. English, which is also of 300 marks. In English, which is also a 300 marks, this is compulsory for every student. There is no choice in place of English. English is compulsory for everyone. There is a choices where you can take any other language in place of general Hindi. Okay? These 2 papers are just qualifying. the 300 marks of Hindi or any other language, the 300 marks of English, these will not be counted in final exams and cut off. Okay? After qualifying these two papers, you will be eligible to check your another papers, which are general studies, which have 1000 marks in 4 categories. सामान्य अध्ययन जनरल स्टडी, इसके 4 पेपर होंगे और each paper contains 250 marks each. General study 1, general study 2, general study 3 and general study 4. Each of these papers have 250 marks accordingly in 1000 marks distributions. Okay? These 4 papers comprises 1000 marks. And then there are one paper of essay. One paper of essay which is to 250 marks, and this is your 5th paper, whose countings will be more efficient, and the number of 250 marks, the number 250 is countable in the final cutoff. So thus general study have 4 papers of 1000 marks and an essay of 250 marks. After this, we have an optional paper which have 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Each of these 2 papers also have 250 marks each. It means your optional paper have 500 marks, and here we are to discuss this optional paper as our mathematics, and in this category how we can attain maximum marks out of 500. This is our strategy, and in this webinar we are going to discuss some more strategic points such that we can attain more efficient marks, and very important, which is in our final examinations. So mathematics optional is going to discuss here. So let's start. Maths optional pattern. First of all, we have to discuss maths optional pattern. As already told by me, that there are 2 papers. In each optional paper there are 2 papers. So mathematics optional has also paper 1 and paper 2, which is equivalent to 250 marks and 250 marks. 250 marks and 250 marks. These 2 papers, each of 250 marks. So this is the actual representation of total mathematics optional paper, and what is the pattern of these papers I will be telling you. Let's start. Pattern of paper. Let's start. Pattern of paper 1 or 2. Both papers are same as given in the schedule of UPSC examination. If I take paper 1, for example, if I take paper 1, more or less paper 1 and paper 2 both have same pattern. So if you understand the paper 1 pattern, then you will also be able to understand the pattern of paper 2. Okay? So there are 2 sections. Section A and section B. Section B. There are 2 papers, section A and section B, which are divided into 2 sections. Okay? And in each section there are 4 questions. Question number 1, 2, 3 and 4. These are 4 questions in section A. On the other hand, in section B there are also 4 questions. Question number 5, 6, 7 and 8. Okay? There are 8 questions overall in any paper, 1 or 2. In each section, first question is compulsory. First question is compulsory. It means this first question is compulsory. This first question is compulsory. Okay? Number 1 thing is that the first question of each section is compulsory. It means if you are not solving the question 1 and question 5, then your whole paper will not be checked. Okay. Other thing is that there are 5 parts of question 1 and question 5. First question of each section have 5 parts. 5 parts means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C, D, E. And here also there are 5 parts of A, B, C, D, E, just like it. Question 1 have 5 parts and question 5 has 5 parts. Each part of first question and fifth question contains 10 marks. It means if you calculate the marks, then 10 into 5 is equal to 50 marks. And here also 10 into 5 is equal to 50 marks. Are you understanding? The section A and B have 4 questions and 4 questions each. First question of section A and first question of section B, which is numerically called question number 1 and question number 5. These are compulsory. These have 5 parts A, B, C, D, E. Only 5 parts. Okay. Each part have 10 marks, and thus the total marks of question number 1 is equal to 50. Similarly, question number 5 has 5 parts, each of 10 marks and equal to 50 marks of complete question number 5. These two papers, these two questions are very compulsory section, so you can't skip these optionals or these options A, B, C, D, E. Okay. Now, it is not only the last thing. The other thing is that in these 3 questions, question number 3, 4, 2, 3, 4 and 6, 7, 8, you have to attempt one question necessarily, and here also you have to attempt one question necessarily. First and fifth question are compulsory. In the rest questions, out of rest 2, 3, 4, you have to select one question. Out of 6, 7, 8, you have to select at least one question. Now, in total 8 questions, you have to attempt 5 questions. Okay. This is the criteria. Out of 8 questions, you have to attempt 5 questions, and each question contains 50 marks. That's why each paper has 5 into 50, which is equal to 250 marks. Are you understanding? 5 into 50 marks, 5 into 50 is equal to 250 marks. Any paper, maximum marks 250. So now, understand. In question 2, 3, 4, you have to attempt one question. In question 6, 7, 8, you have to attempt one question. Now, how many questions you have attempted? You have attempted 4 questions. Question 1, question 5. 2 questions. Out of these, 1 question, 3. Out of these, 1 question, 4. And total how much questions you have to attempt? 5 questions. So now, there are only 1 question choice. There is choice of only single question that is left on you, that will you want to attempt from these 1 extra question or from these extra questions. So in this category, you can add 1 or I am writing here or. You can add 1 more question from this. In this category, you can attempt 2, 1 or 1 or 2. These number of questions out of 2 sections. It means if you are attempting 2 questions from section A, then you have to attempt only one question from section B. If you are attempting two questions from section B, then you have to attempt only single question from section A. So this is the criteria, that 2-1 or 1-2, and thus you can attempt 5 questions in each paper. So this is the overview of each questions, and in such a way we can understand the pattern of examination, the pattern of question paper, in which how much options we have to attempt and how much questions we have to attempt. So this is the total criteria, in which 5 questions will be attempted in such a way that in each section at least 2 questions will be attempted and 1 question choice is left upon you. Okay, so this is the rough idea. Hope you are understanding. And now we are going to discuss some most important properties by which mathematics optional can be a game changer for your UPSC civil service examinations. Okay, now we are coming on the key highlights. Let's discuss some points that why mathematics optional is more important for us, and in this category mathematics optional can play a very important role in your examination and in your preparation to crack UPSC CSE and to attain a very good marks, very good rank in the category. So why to opt mathematics as an optional subject in UPSC civil service examination? There are many differences, there are many qualities, there are many different strategy for mathematics as compared to humanity subjects. So we will discuss everything here and you will be answered your every query by me. And in this category, let's start one by one. Who should take it? It means mathematics optional. There are 2 questions. Who can take and who should take? Who can take and who should take? The answer of can is that there is no criteria given by UPSC that the particular person can take. UPSC only required the graduation from any stream, from any university, from any other recognized colleges and etc. anything. It does not clarify that mathematics is for special category peoples and for special category persons or the students coming from a special background. So the answer of can, who can take, is that everyone can take. But the most important question is this, that who should take the mathematics as optional in their UPSC exam? Who should take? The answer of this question is very straightforward. The students who learned mathematics as a mainstream subject, as a core subject in their graduation, they are very, very beneficial by mathematics. Otherwise, any student who does not study any mathematics in their graduation, please don't think about taking mathematics as an optional in UPSC. Because if you think that up to class 12th you have learned, you have studied mathematics very, very carefully, it will not work here. Because the mathematics optional in the category of UPSC CSE, in syllabus of UPSC CSE, it is of undergraduation level and up to the marks of master level. So if you are not from mathematics background, please don't think to take mathematics. And if you are an student from a mathematical background, just like you are an engineer, you are BSc from maths, simple graduation, PCM or by honors, if you studied mathematics in BA if you studied mathematics in BCom and in any other graduation course where mathematics is taught as an mainstream subject, as a core subject, then you can take mathematics optional in UPSC CSE. So let me write here, any student, number one, from engineering, BTech, you can take mathematics as optional. Second thing, if you are from BSc background where maths is one mainstream subject, if you are from BA where maths is one mainstream subject, a core subject, in some universities, in commerce, BCom, maths is also one of the main subject, and in any other graduation course, if any, where mathematics is main subject, mathematics is core subject of your course, then you can think of taking mathematics as an optional subject in your UPSC civil services journey. Okay, so these are some courses. Besides this, any other subject can be opted as if you are if you studied mathematics as an optional, as a core subject in your graduation. Okay, so this is the first answer. Who should take it? So the students coming from these backgrounds can take mathematics as optional. Okay. Second thing, besides these qualifications, this is a fundamental. I think you have to be very careful about these courses. If you are from these courses, then you can take, and you know what is the graduation syllabus of mathematics, so you can resonate here as your preparation, and it will be very helpful in your preparation. Okay. Now, the second thing is that passionate for maths. You have a very good passion for mathematics. The passion in such a way that if you see a question of mathematics, then you have to be some excitement in yourself that yes, I have studied this type of question of mathematics and I have a very good experience in solving it. If at this time I am not able to solve this, then it should be your confidence, then I can learn how to solve it. This type of excitement you have to be in yourself by taking or before taking mathematics as optional. So, passionate for maths. Although passion for whole journey of UPSC is very important, and if you have the passion, then you can lead a large victory. Then passionate for mathematics is another thing in this journey. Okay. Next thing, no cramming, only understanding. Here we are just keynoting, just saying small steps, and further I will tell you everything in details. So keep tuning us. No cramming, only understanding. This is very important. In humanity subjects, you can experience in your UPSC service, civil service preparation, that in GS 1, 2, 3, 4, every paper or essay, that cramming is something measurable. I mean to say that in every paper you have to learn something. For example, history. For example, some articles in polity. Then you have to cram them. Without cramming, there is a less understanding and more cramming. Although there is understanding also of the concepts, but in history, in other factual things, that a lot of factual things in which you crams a lots of things, are daily current affairs in which you have to learn, you have to take a very long distance for your informations so that you can write in your examination. So cramming steps are very important. But in mathematics, no cramming is required. Only understanding the concept If you understand the concept, then a single question of one concept is sufficient for your complete topic. If you understand the concept, no other thing is required. UPSC asks one question on this concept. If next year, how can he relate? He can change the digits, he can change the numeral values, but it cannot change the optimal conceptual concept by which the question is solved. So, no cramming, only understanding the concept. Let me write here, concept. Only concept. If you understand the concept, it will be sufficient by your preparation, and many questions will be solved by only concept. So, there is no specific requirement, there is no specific ideas of thinking that you have to be very careful every single word. So, only concept. Next, you have to practice very previous year questions, and you can learn that on a single concept, many questions will be straightforward. Okay? So, only understanding the concept. This is the main difference between humanity subject and this mathematical subject. Okay. Availability of resources. This is very easy thing. The most problem is by the student that how can we study, from where can we study, and what study material should we read. In mathematics, from class 12th, or to be more specific, from class 10th, everything is in the market and everything is easily available for mathematics optional up to master level. I think the study material for mathematics is most, it should be most available in the market in comparison of any other humanity, any humanity optional subject. So, availability of material is very important for our preparation, so that we can learn the efficient and qualityful material which is in accordance to the previous year questions. And in mathematics, this point is very important, that every matter is available for you in mathematics. Next, highest scoring. This is main thing. This is main thing, highest scoring, for which we are discussing here mathematics optional. In the history of optional subject, since last 2013 to 14, where pattern was be changed, mathematics is one of the most important optional subject which allowed the students to obtain 375 plus marks out of 500. 375 marks out of 500. And you know, 375 marks are a huge score in optional subject. In humanities, 300 marks is considered very, very good marks. But in mathematics, 375 marks was recorded in 2017 by many other aspirants which can take 350 plus marks in every time, and in last previous years you can take any example which attained 350 plus marks in last UPSC exams. Okay, so these are the key highlights which I have discussed with you about mathematics, and let me more discuss with something special about mathematics special. One thing is the syllabus. Mathematics optional for UPSC CSE, IAS, IFoS, and other specifically PCS exams also, more or less connected with UPSC. So there are 13 topics. There are 13 topics, or if I say there are 13 books in total syllabus of UPSC. Here in yellow colors I have written paper 1, okay, which is also 250 marks, And in green color, I have written paper second, which is also 250 marks. Okay? Now, see here. The ordinary differential equation, calculus, vector analysis, linear algebra, dynamics and statics, and analytic geometry. These six topics which are written in yellow colors are of paper 1. And I will discuss how these 6 topics are further divided in section A and section B. So let me come to that point. But before that, on the other hand, there are 7 topics. Partial differential equation, this one, green color, partial differential equation, real analysis, abstract algebra or algebra, and in graduation BSc, you studied it by the name of modern algebra also. So both names are interchangeably used, abstract algebra, modern algebra, or simply it can be said algebra. Numerical analysis and computer programming, linear programming, complex analysis, mechanics and fluid dynamics. These 7 topics are of paper second, which is also of 250 marks, which we have discussed before. Okay, so these 13 topics are divided into papers. First, paper 1, which has 6 topics, and paper 2 has 7 topics. So total 13 topics are there, or it can be said that 13 books are there. Okay, you have to read 13 topics for complete syllabus for UPSC. Yes, this is very huge, and we will discuss about that. Okay, now these 13 topics are divided into sections. How these are divided into sections? Brief overview of syllabus, maths optional. Let me tell you, syllabus of paper 1 and paper 2 are divided into section A, section B, further section A and section B. Okay, in section A there are these 3 topics, linear algebra, calculus and analytic geometry. Linear algebra, calculus and analytic geometry. Okay, in section B, ordinary differential equation, in short which is called ODE, ordinary differential equation, dynamics and statics, you can see here, and third one is vector analysis. These 6 topics are divided into these 2 sections. Okay, similarly in paper 2 there are 2 sections, and these 7 topics are further divided into 2 sections. Section A, algebra, real analysis, complex analysis, you can see here complex analysis, and linear programming, which is in short called LPP. You know it very well by the name of LPP, and you have studied it in your graduation program. Okay, section B, partial differential equation, in short it is called PDE, partial differential equation, numerical analysis and computer programming. Other one, third, mechanics and fluid dynamics. So these 4 topics in section A and these 3 topics in section B. So thus there are 6 topics in paper 1 and 7 topics in paper 2, and this is the distribution. Section A 3 topics, section B 3 topics, section A 4 topics, and section B 3 topics. These are further divided. It means, which I have told you, the pattern of question paper, this one. In section A of paper 1, in section B of paper 2, question number 1 and question number 5 will be mixed type question. And in each question 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, there will be at least three sub questions. It means 3 options A, B, C. Every question have 3 further questions A, B, C, and in each question, one question is from every one single book, one single topic. So this is the reason that you have to learn every 13 topics. You can't skip a single topic, because in each section of each paper, in each question of each section, there will be a question from each topic. Before the changing pattern, there will be specifically that question number 3 will be from calculus, and question number 2 will be from real analysis, and this was fixed. But by changing the pattern for every optional subject from 2013 to 14, it is described that every question will be of 3 sub questions, and each question will be from each single book, so the student can't skip any single book. Okay, so in this category, every book is very important. Every 13 topics are equivalently most important. Yes, it is very fact that some topics are more important, some topics are less important, and in this category we will discuss it further. So by then, let me take some questions. Yes, one question is that which topic is more important? Yes, my dear, I will discuss this, which topic is more efficient and which is more important, and I will give you a brief overview obtained in last questions. So this will be discussed. Okay, the duration of the course. The duration of the course will be 6 to 7 months. Approximately 7 months will be required to complete the syllabus, and we have the complete course strategy for 7 months. Yes. Next. The humanity subject. Okay. The question is that there is overlapping of humanity subject and there is no overlapping of mathematics. So I will tell you the reason that students select humanity subjects, not for the mathematics. There are many reasons. I will tell you one by one. Question 2 okay. Okay. Next. Yeah. Okay. Marks pattern. Okay. Marking skill. Okay. I will tell you the revision and comparison between humanity subject and other. This question will be answered. Okay. So let me proceed further. There are many questions which will be answered ultimately with your next further discussion. Okay. So now, these are many questions. There are many questions for how the overlapping, how it is more beneficial than humanities. Then I will discuss everything here. Okay. Now, number 1. First thing here, strategy for mathematics optional for IAS PCS. As I told you before, that choosing an optional subject, a correct optional subject, will be half race win for your examination. 500 marks are of optional subject, and out of 2025 marks, 1000 marks will be required to come in your merit list. In this 1000 marks, 500 marks of optional play a very crucial role in obtaining 1000. And by getting 1000 marks, it means you are in, you are passed, and you will bang on. Okay, so choosing an optional subject can be a backbone for your success in UPSC. It is very fact that many optional subjects play a very important role, and every student, every topper, you see every interview, and they say there are two papers, essay and optional. Besides this, in GS4, ethics will be more efficient as compared to GS1 to 3. GS1 to 3 have, every student has, and every student got average marks in recorded history. This is fact. In GS1 to 3, every student gets approximately 100 marks, 110, 95, and approximately about 100 marks. Okay, it may be 120, 125 for many, but on an average, we can say that 100 plus and minus marks will be for every marks, for every students. But GS4 has some liberty to tackle that you can get more marks. Besides this, essay is one of the scoring marks paper, and after this, optional play a very vital role, very important role for your preparation. So if you take mathematics, if you take any subject of your core interest as an optional in UPSC CSE, then it will decide your rank, it will decide your result, that how can be your answer, how can be your journey, how can be your representation will follow your success. Okay, so maths as your UPSC optional is the best idea. Mathematics may be a best idea for only those students which I have told you that they come from engineering background, BTech, BSc or BCom, BA with mathematics as a main core subject. So these students can take or should take mathematics, and this is very good idea for mathematics. Okay, besides this, this is the only subject, and there are many special qualities which we are going to discuss for mathematics, and in which 375 marks have been obtained by the students in mathematics optional in 2017, and besides this, many students score 350 plus marks in the previous years. But in humanity subjects, there are very few students which score 300 plus, 350 marks or 325, 340 marks. There are scatteredly very few students. But in mathematics, 325 to 350, there will be very huge students who are very successful on getting UPSC CSE rank. So this is the one thing. Who should opt mathematics? I have already told you. And besides this, mathematics background students, engineering, BCom, BSc, BA with mathematics are the students who have studied BTech, BSc, mathematics, BA mathematics or any other course in which mathematics is one of the core subject, who can take mathematics optional in CSE. Besides this, the student should be highly passionate, this is very important, and extremely devoted. Devoted means that something you have learned, you have studied today, and it is your duty that you will revise that matter same day before coming to the next class. If you studied something today and you left that on next day or the next day, then it will not gonna to be work. Okay, so in mathematics the devotion is very important. If you have to crack the UPSC exam, then you have to be very devoted to the mathematics. Besides this, they should be eager to learn new concepts and technicalities. Technicalities. Technicalities means there are many different methods. There are a vast variety of concepts you have studied in your graduation, and here in UPSC level there will be very different techniques, very different concepts. So if you are eager to understand these concepts and you have the correspondence, a zeal in your that you will discuss, you will learn something and you will achieve a good thing, then you can take mathematics. In UPSC, in humanities, some are in the basis of something is story, something incidents in UPSC. But in case of mathematics, there are technicalities, small technicalities, that these concepts will be understood. Once these concepts are yours, then everything, every question will be solved by you. So these techniques, these some different concepts you have to be understand. Now, ready to diversify their potential as per the demand of UPSC. This is the basic requirement for UPSC civil service aspirant, that if you are a diverse student and you can think your knowledge as per the requirement of UPSC, that which is to apply your knowledge in very diversified area of the society, just not learning, just not understanding the concept, but you have to understand that how this concept will be applicable in form of society applications, and how can it will be useful in your every aspect of your exam. This is very deemed and very required property that every student should have. So there is no watershed moment, that this topic is not only for your understanding the mathematics, but it will diversify your every knowledge of history, geography and polity, and everything will be interconnected. Every technicality you can apply these techniques in your GS papers also. So you have to diversify your potential. Next, ready to learn the vast application, which I have told you before, that the knowledge you are studying in your every paper, say it will be humanity subjects also, it will be GS, it will be your ethics paper also, it will be your essay paper also. Then you have to diversify your total experience, total thinking process, that how kind you are, that how diversify and how you can make more efficient applications of your knowledge. Okay, so these are the some property required to take optional papers. Next, mathematics optional versus other optional papers. This is the most important thing which you have asked, that what is the benefit for taking mathematics and not of overlapping. So let me discuss here. Mathematics, as I told you before, is one of the most important optional paper in which the student also score 375 marks, and I think it is 2017, 375 marks in mathematics. This is the highest ever optional score scored in every total optional papers. No other optional paper allowed students to take 350 marks also, but mathematics is one of the most important subject which allowed the students to take 375 marks, and it is not the maximum, it is not the highest marks, but if you take more advantage, if you take more conceptual things and previous year questions, and if you solve these previous year questions which have been asked in previous years, then you will be able that you can score even 400 marks. If you solve previous year questions, then you can take and you can think that you can take 400 marks. Okay, so this paper is the only paper to achieve 375 marks And this is the record that out of 25 students, out of 25 successful students, at least one student is from mathematics background. Yes, this is the fact. Out of 25 students, successful students, if you take, then one student will be from mathematics background. There are very large number of optional papers, optional subjects, and mathematics is one of them. So if 25 students we have taken randomly, there will be single student from mathematics background which are successful. Okay? So popularity, yes, day by day mathematics popularity is going to be increased because it is the static portion. It is very high scoring optional subject for your exam. So now some different thing besides this, mathematics optional has many advantages, just like there are some written advantages. Most advantages and highest scoring. This is the total criteria of any exam. If you attain maximum marks, it means it will be your useful subject. Okay? So no cramming, only understanding like other optionals. In any other optional subject, in any other humanities subject, cramming is must. But in mathematics there is no cramming. Besides some theorems, these are very conceptual. And students think these theorems are cramming only. No. Anything in mathematics is not a cramming. And mathematics is a logical subject. This is not a subject of just cramming and revising. Just learn the concept, apply it to the question, and bus, this is the only formula. No cramming. Okay? So cramming in other optional subject, this will be very difficult, but in mathematics it is not so. Only conceptual understanding, this is the key word, only conceptual. And in UPSC civil service examination, it is very important that how can you apply your brain, how can you apply your thinking level, approach, how can you approach the solution of any problem, to solve any social problem, to solve any problem in the society, how can you apply your brain? And this is the only technology, only thing that you have to be think conceptually. What is in your mind? What is in your mind? Think it and apply to the problem. This is the only pattern, only method which is studied in mathematics. If a student cram mathematics, it will not work. But in other humanities subject, cramming is must. At least 50% cramming is must. Understanding is also there, but in case of mathematics, there is no cramming, 0% cramming, only understanding the concept and apply it to the problem. Okay? Easy to understand and self-innovative subject. Yes, this is very important. This thing is almost in every optional subject, but in mathematics, it is very, very important that you have to understand the concept. If you once understand the concept, then you can take any problem at any level. For example, in 12th class, if you understand the differentiation, if you understand the integration, then in such problems, there are infinite number of problems, but if you understand the concept very carefully, right approach, then you can solve almost every single problem of the universe of differentiation, integration. So if you think that conceptual clarity is very must, then it is sufficient for mathematics optional. Availability of lots of resources, yes, this is correct. Resources are vast, available in the market and in everywhere in which mathematics up to class 12th, up to graduation and masters, every book is available in very simple language. In spite of there are international journals, international publications which are most useful in this examination also. best expert guidance. It is very necessary because mathematics is one of the subject in which many students feels a fear that in your society, in your neighborhood, in your family, there may be very a kind of phobia about mathematics, that mathematics is a very tough subject. But if you learn by an expert, by a good expert, then the thing which fear you will become your strength. So there is no need to be fearful, only just try to understand the concept and you will succeed in your examination very soon. Okay. Next, mathematics optional pros and cons. One thing you have asked me, that there is no overlapping and there is many other optional subject, humanity subjects has the overlapping with GS paper syllabus, but mathematics is not so. So this is a cons, but here are some pros also. Let me discuss one by one. Scoring. Yes, this is the verified record that in every up to 2021 date, there is no other optional paper which allowed students 350 marks. It is said that 300 marks in humanities subject is very good marks, but in mathematics 375 marks was attained in 2017. So it is clearly verified that mathematics optional is one of the important subject which is highest scoring, record breaking, and you can record that every other humanity subject will not allow you to take 300 marks. Yes, 300 marks is very big, tough, and very big, very large, very good answer and score. But in mathematics, it is not so. Even 350 marks is not called a good marks. 350 plus marks is average and thick-tack marks, okay? But in mathematics, 375 up to 400 marks can be achieved out of 500. So it is scoring. Yes, obviously it is scoring. Mathematics is scoring, and literally a large number of examples you can take on internet and everywhere that mathematics students have scored a lots of marks. So this is also written that there were 375 marks out of 500. Okay, and now direct. Yes, second thing is direct. What kind of direct we are discussing here? In any optional subject, in any humanities, social science subjects, there will be no question direct from your book, direct from your notes. Besides, there will be some dynamical aspects. There will be some aspects which will be connected with currents or the incidents coming around. But in case of mathematics, this is the very important quality, that the question will be direct. There will be no change. Every single dot will be written as it is in your examination. So the question paper and the whole question will be asked as your direct question. So this is the second property, and straightforward questions will be asked. So a very small quality, but it is very important quality, that the questions obtained will be very straightforward. Straightforward means direct, as you would be writing in your notes, in your question, in your book, same question will be asked. So this is the second most property of mathematics. In other humanities, there will be at least single word variation, and there may be a small single word variation can make a huge change in your answer. So the mathematics, in case of this optional, you will get direct questions. This is the second property. In between, I have to take some questions asked. Good evening, very good evening, Mr. Mohit Tiwari. Yes, one question is asked that about overlapping of the syllabus of mathematics. Once again, I will discuss that. Okay. Static, yes. Straightforward is due to the static syllabus. No other humanities subject has static syllabus. Even history is not static. The history subject is assumed to be static, but it is not with fixed words. Means the words which were written, you can't take them as static. Those words will be connected with current affairs, and the incidents coming around the world. The incidents coming we are living in. So every single question of any other humanities subject will be connected with the current affairs. But now in mathematics there will be no change. Every question will be straightforward. That's why the whole syllabus of mathematics is static. You can't change anything. And in many other topics, just like statics and fluid dynamics, and in complex analysis also, where applied mathematics is used, the questions are just straightforward. If there is written is, then in examination it will be is. There is no scope to change is to are. If there are single force, then there will be single force. There will be is, there will be is. So this is the quality of mathematics. So the score of mathematics can be very high. So mathematics is static, unlike some other humanity subjects. Competition, yes. This is another one. In this optional you will face a very less competition. Yes, very less competition, because in your surroundings also, if you are preparing for UPSC, CSC for next years and for more years, then you can feel the many aspirants around you are from humanity subject, and mathematics students will be rare. Rare why? Because they think that humanity subject will benefit them in GS paper also, and that's why they leave optional mathematics. But this may be very disastrous for them, and it may be very useful for you and beneficial for you, that there is less competition and you can win every single question as your victory. Okay, I will tell you what will be the difference of marking. One student have also asked about this. Okay, yes, good evening, very good evening, SN. Yes, very good evening. Yes, very good evening. A student also asked about the scoring and marking of exams. I will coming to that point also. Predictable, other thing, predictable. Yes, you can predict that these type of questions can be asked. Not exactly that question, but it is obvious that if the question coming from this topic, particular topic, it will be asked. 100% it will be asked. For example, application of partial differential equation, string problems, heat equations, Laplace equations, 20 marks each year. Can you imagine? these questions have been asked 30 marks, up to 30 marks. And there will be no question of 30 marks in any optional subject. So, in mathematics, you can predict that this question will be asked. There are certain questions in statics dynamics, in fluid mechanics, only 50 questions total out of 50 questions will be sufficient. And in these 50 questions, UPSC will ask every single word as it is. There will be no change. So, predictable, yes, it is predictable in mathematics, but in any other humanities subject, you can't predict that this will be asked as it is. Are you understanding? So, this is one of the main thing, that predictability is very useful for you, that you can predict that every year this type of question is asking, so we can prepare and we can take a lead as compared to other humanities subjects. Now, let me come to the question which is asked by many peoples. Cons of mathematics optional. Cons. Besides pros, there are cons. Yes, I am saying this because I have to say everything neat, clean and clear. The cons are, there is no overlapping of syllabus. Yes, this is the main cons of mathematics optional, and this is the reason due to which the students are not selecting mathematics optional, in spite of being an engineering student, in spite of being a student from very good background of BSc mathematics. These students are fearing of taking mathematics due to this. And I will clear your doubt. Yes, I will clear your doubt that you are making mistakes by saying this, that there is no overlapping and this will not lead your exam, and this will be your beneficial point. How? Now, virtually zero overlap hai. There is no single word overlapping with your GS paper, but I will make sure you that this overlapping, no overlapping point will be your beneficial point if you take mathematics optional. You can convert this point, this negative point, into a very highly positive points. I will tell you how. Second cons is this, that this is time consuming. Obviously. Yes, obviously. This is time consuming and very, very time consuming. If you take 1 hour to study other humanities subject, then you have to spend 2 hours in mathematics. And if you are from mathematics background, if you studied mathematics in your class 12th also, just for example, then you had an experience that if you going to study mathematics, if you start to solve mathematics problem, then hours time will be spent on differentiation, integration, and you will be very interesting in that section, that your practice, your question pattern, your type of studying will be different from any other subject. For example, if you starting to solve the problem of differential equation, then if you solve one question, you get some confidence. If you solve next question, your confidence will be doubled. And in this way, if you gonna to be sleep, then in such a way, mathematics will deal you that you are not going to sleep. Are you understanding? Mathematics is one of the interesting subject. If you come to its resonance, then your sleep will be goes off. And in this way, you can take mathematics a long hours study. So mathematics is time consuming, but it will make you more practicing, it will make you more interesting, it will make you more logical, it will make you more understanding and developing your concept for the application of society. Okay, so these two cons, no overlapping, yes, sorry, this is no overlapping subject, and time consuming, yes, this is time consuming. Both of these cons can be converted into pros. These two negative points are for the students who don't want to study long, who don't want to take more adventure, but these cons can be converted into pros also. I will tell you how. Now let me discuss some points regarding the syllabus so that you can just overview that these topics we have studied in our graduation course, in our many other different courses. So please see just words. I will show you that these topics will be your familiar. Okay, so syllabus paper 1 section A, as I have discussed with you, that the whole syllabus is divided into two papers, and each of the two papers is further divided into two sections, section A and section B. That's why we have discussed so for section A and section wise discussion for this syllabus. Section A of paper 1 have these three topics: linear algebra, calculus and analytic geometry. Okay, so in overview, let me remind you that these topics are very familiar with your graduation course. You have studied these, so just at a glance take it. Vector space, which is the subject of your graduation. Vector space over real number and complex number, ally linearly dependence and independence, linearly dependence and independence. This is the topic you have studied in your graduation, BSc, engineering also. Moreover, subspace, basis, dimension, linear transformations. These are the topics of linear algebra, and you have studied in every university in BSc courses. And if you studied mathematics as a core subject in your graduation, then these topics are of linear algebra, and you have almost every student studied this. Next, rank nullity, matrix of linear transformation. Yes, this is also familiar with you. I am saying these topics just for your connection, that you have just familiar with these topics. So just see here, algebra of matrices. Yes, this is the matrix, row column reduction and elementary transformation you have studied in class 12th, in graduation also. So every single topic of matrix is in linear algebra here. So echelon form, yes, echelon form, congruence, similarity, rank of matrix, this is also studied by you in your graduation course. Inverse of matrices, yes, this is very simple topic, and in class 11th 12th we started matrix with this topic also. Okay, solution of system of equations, this is very classical topic in linear algebra. I'm saying these topics, and I'm showing these topics to you just to recognize these topics for your syllabus also. Eigenvalues, eigenvectors, characteristic polynomial, Cayley-Hamilton theorems, you have studied this topic also. And symmetric, skew-symmetric topics, Hermitian, skew-Hermitian, these topics will be in your UPSC, and you have already discussed, already studied in your graduation also. Calculus, yes, please see here, real numbers, functions of real variables, limits, continuity, differentiability, mean value theorems, Lagrange theorem, Rolle's theorem, है ना, and Cauchy's theorem. These are the mean values theorems. So you have already discussed, you have already studied in your graduation program also. Here you will be re-study here Taylor's theorem, expansion of functions के साथ indeterminate form, L'Hopital rule, L-Hospital rule भी उसको कहते हैं, है ना. Maxima minima, देख रहे हैं आप, maxima minima. These are the topics which are just fundamental from class 12th. Yes, class 12th. Asymptotes, curve tracing, functions of 2 and 3 variables, and more specifically, it is known as functions of several variables. And you are seeing this limits continuity, repeated topics. These are just for one variable plus 2 standard questions, and this is for 2 variables, 3 variables, and several variables. It is the topic of your graduation. Partial derivatives, maxima minima, once again, Lagrange's method of multiplier, which is very important topic. Every single year, one question is asked in this topic. Jacobian, very important topic. And UPSC 2021 also asked one question once again, and this topic is in highlight. So, we will see that which topic is more important. Riemann definition of definite integrals, okay, infinite improper integrals, and besides this, double, triple integrals, evaluation techniques, area, surface, and volumes. One thing I want to discuss with you here, that these topics are not just of the calculus. There are many topics which are overlapping with the other topics, just like vector calculus, real analysis. So these topics are not just for calculus. Many topics are intermingled with each other, and many different topics are in different books. So in UPSC syllabus, it is very useful to see that the syllabus is also overlapping within the syllabus. Okay? Analytic geometry. So you can see here Cartesian geometry, polar coordinates, r and theta coordinates. Okay? Second degree equations in 3 variables, reduction to canonical forms. Already in BSc first year you can see here, and the students from BSc background can relate this. Okay? Straight line, shortest distance, this is very important topic, इसके lines के बीच का. Okay? Planes, sphere, cone, cylinder, paraboloid, ellipsoid, these are the topics which have been studied by you in your graduation programs, and almost everywhere in University of India there are many different topics will be divided in different exams and different papers as per the semester exams. So these are the randomly scattered topics. In engineering also these topics are discussed there. So you can relate here. I am showing these topics just to connect the dots, that you can understand that these topics are just familiar with us. Okay? Now, syllabus for section B of the paper 1, ordinary differential equation. Yes, ODE, which is the most important book of this preparation. Formulation of differential equation, obviously starting from this equation of first order and first degree factor, orthogonal trajectory, which is also called OT. One question is asked in 2021 also. Equation of first order but not first degree, this is higher ordered equations, Clairaut's equations, singular solution, second order and higher order linear differential equation with constant coefficients. And I think you will be realized that these are complementary function CF and particular integral PI. CF plus PI questions, very large number of questions are asked by UPSC from these topics. Okay? So let me discuss more topics. Yes, second order linear differential equation with variable coefficients, this is constant coefficient. Cauchy-Euler equation, determination of complete solution when one solution is known by the method of variation of parameter, this is very important thing, variation of parameter. 15 marks question is asked every year, every single year. Laplace equation. From here, this is the Laplace transformation syllabus, which is also added in ordinary differential equation. So Laplace and inverse Laplace transform, their properties and application to the initial value problems for second order equations with constant coefficient. This is the application of Laplace equation. Okay. So meanwhile, let me take some questions. Yes, very good evening, very good evening. Yes, one student asked about the course duration. Course duration is approximately 7 months. We have targeted it to 7 months, and this is the meanwhile, if there will be some extra time or it may be some soon, then we will discuss that after starting the syllabus. Okay, then more and less it will be 7 months. So let me discuss some more topics. Statics and dynamics. This is the topic, statics and dynamics, which makes paper 1 some more beneficial, and it will benefit you in many terms. For example, rectilinear motion, simple harmonic motion, motion in plane, projectile, constrained motion, work energy, conservation of energy, Kepler's law. These are the topics, just to show you that you can connect. These topics are familiar with you, and you have studied these such topics in your graduation program, sometimes in your physics exams. Okay, so these are the applied portion of mathematics, which is also in your physics syllabus also. So sometimes some students call this the physics unit. Okay, conservation of energy, Kepler's law, orbit under central forces. This is very important topic. Every year one question is asked from this topic. Equilibrium of system, work and potential energy, friction. So catenary, very important topic. Principle of virtual work, yes, this is also important topic. Stability, equilibrium and forces in 3 dimensions. This is also important topic from statics and dynamics. Vector analysis. I was discussing vector analysis is overlapping with calculus. So you can see here that scalar and vector fields, differentiation of vector, this is also the part of calculus of the differentiation. Okay, and yes, gradient, divergence, curl. Gradient, divergence, curl. Have you heard these words before? Yes, of course. In your graduation, in your engineering, in your physics, maths, everywhere these topics will be studied, and in every exam you have these topics. In Cartesian, cylindrical coordinates. Okay, in both coordinates we will discuss their Cartesian and cylindrical. In Cartesian you have discussed them, and in cylindrical we will discuss this. Higher order derivatives, vector identities, vector equations, and application to geometry. This is very important. Here the application of these topics is very important. In UPSC examination, these topics are from fundamental basic knowledge to higher level up to applications. Okay, curve in space. And have you heard Serret-Fernett formulae, Gauss and Stokes theorem, Green's theorem? These are the topics which you have heard in your graduation also. Don't you worry that these topics are so old that you can't reimagine it. Don't you worry. We will discuss everything from scratch. So no previous knowledge is required, just to understand you that these topics have you heard or not. I am showing these topics to you just to remind, just to analyze that these topics will be are familiar or not. Now, syllabus of second paper, paper 2, you can see it on website also, but here I am showing these topics one by one, and equivalently I am marking this because these topics will make you more confident by taking maths optional, and before taking any optional you can discuss by yourself that these topics are familiar with you, and you can go with mathematics optional, that you have learned, you have discussed with these topics, that every single topic is familiar to you or not. Okay? So abstract algebra in graduation BSc program, every university in abstract algebra is very important topic, and you have studied in your graduation also. Groups, subgroups, cyclic groups, cosets, Lagrange's theorem, okay, normal subgroup, quotient group, homomorphism. Have you heard this word, homomorphism? Don't you worry, I am not asking you anything, just to understand that this is your topic which have been discussed in your classes also. Basic information, basic isomorphism, okay, permutation, Cayley's theorem. These are the topics of group theory, and from here a ring theory starts. Rings, subrings, ideals, homomorphism of rings, integral domains. Yes, integral domain you have studied in your graduation program. Principal ideals, yes, Euclidean domains, unique factorization theorem, fields and quotient fields. Yes, these are the topics of your graduation, and you can think that these topics, if you are not unable to understand, if you are not able to understand that what are these topics actually, so don't you worry, we will discuss everything, every topic from scratch. Only purpose to show you is that you will connect these topics with your previous past experience or not. Real analysis, these are the topics. Real number system as ordered field, at least least upper bounds, sequence, limit of sequence, Cauchy sequence, completeness of real line, series. From here it is the starting of series, and from this topic, before this topic, it was the sequence. So there are two topics, sequence and series, in your graduation program. So this is the sequence and series. Series, convergence, absolute and conditional convergence. These are the words which was discussed in your graduation program also. And next, continuity, uniform convergence of functions. I have told you that these topics are intermingled. These are overlapping topics, overlap with the calculus, with the vector analysis and some other things. Okay, so don't you think that everything has a watermark and watershed, that only the topic in real analysis is the topic of real analysis? It is not so. It is the topic of calculus also, it is the topic, and it may be the application of vector analysis also. So you have to be ready for this type of study. Okay, Riemann integrals, improper integrals, fundamental theorems of integrals. Yes, there are fundamental theorems. Uniform convergence, continuity, differentiability and integrability of sequence and series. And the functions is extended up to sequence, and sequence is summed as a series. So these are the topics intermingled. Okay, and you can see here the partial derivatives. Are you seeing that? Partial derivatives and maxima minima. Once again, these are the topics which are from calculus. So not just as a syllabus reading, you have to be analyzable for your syllabus also, that which topics can be connected with other topics. Okay. Next, complex analysis, very easy book, very easy topic and very scoring also. Analytic function, every student from engineering background or BSc background or any other mathematics background graduate can understand that complex analysis is very important and very useful book. You have also studied in your graduation. Cauchy-Riemann equations, CR equations, Cauchy's theorem, Cauchy's integral formula, power series, representation of analytic function, Taylor series, singularities, Laurent series, Cauchy residue theorem and contour integration. These are the topics, very small topics and very scoring topics. Linear programming is a gift in which very small study can make you more marks. Linear programming problems, LPP, which is called in short, basic solution, basic feasible solution. These are the words you will be remembering. Optimal solution, graphical method, which is the topic of class 12th. Simplex method, you have studied in your graduation program, and the other thing is duality, transportation and assignment problem. These are the topics which have been asked and you would be discussed and studied in your graduation program also. So these are the topics in section A of paper 2. A small brief of section B. These are the topics. Partial differential equation, once again very important topic and very easy, very easy. Family of surfaces and formulation of partial differential equation. Okay, characterization, Cauchy linear equation, this is the classification. Cauchy's method of characteristics, linear partial differential equation of second order with constant coefficient. Okay, next, special type. One small topic is canonical form, special type, vibrating string, heat equation and Laplace equation. These are the three topics which I told you that a single straightforward question has been asked in every single year, and every single question is of 20 to 30 marks also. In past, the single question have been asked up to 30 marks. So these are the clear topics. These are the topics by which straightforward questions, direct questions have been asked. And this is the beauty of mathematics optional. Numerical analysis, you can see here every single topic, whatever it be, as numerical methods, solution of algebraic and transcendental equation by bisection method, regular falsy method, Newton-Raphson method. These are the topics which have been studied by you in your graduation. So I am showing these topics to you just to show that these topics are connected with your graduation program, and you already discussed, already studied in your classes also in graduation. Okay, solution of system of equation by Gauss elimination, yes, Gauss-Jordan method and Gauss-Seidel method. These are the iterative methods. Newton backward and forward formula for interpolation, Lagrange interpolation and numerical integration, trapezoidal rule, Simpson's rule, Gaussian quadrature formula, numerical solution of ordinary differential equation, yes, ordinary differential equation by Euler's and RK method, Runge-Kutta method. Okay, computer programming, binary system. These are the basic fundamental computer programming. This is not the high class programming. Every single student who studied computer programming syllabus up to 12th standard can solve this type of computer programming solution. Just like basic logic gates, you can see here, truth tables, these types of problems are in LPP. Okay, so don't you think about more or less thing. Mechanics and fluid dynamics, this is the topic which makes the second paper something tougher than paper 1, and due to which the students feel very hard paper of second paper 2, but it is not so. It is the topic of some master level, but if you think that this paper is very tough, then it is the only topic which makes you 375 marks. Direct question have been asked from these topics. Let me show you some topics. Generalized coordinates, D'Alembert's principle and Lagrange's equation, Hamiltonian equations, moment of inertia, motion of rigid bodies in 2 dimension, equation of continuity. This is very important topic from where every single year one question is asked. Euler's equation of motion in inviscid flow, streamline flow, yes, streamlines. This is a very small topic, and direct question, one question from streamline is asked in every year. Path of particle, potential flow, 2-dimensional axis symmetric motion, Sources and sinks. Yes, these are the topics from where question is asked directly. Navier-Stokes equations. So these are the topics of section B of paper 2, and in this portion I have shown you the topics of your graduation program. The only purpose to show you these topics is to connect your knowledge of previous experience, that these are the topics in which you have studied in your graduation program. So don't you think that these are the topics by which we can take mathematics as an optional? Are you not familiar with these topics? So ask yourself, if you take other humanities subject, by just one point that some syllabus will be overlapped, that it is not so. In mathematics optional, these are the topics by which you are familiar with, but in humanities there is a single word which you would be familiar in your graduation. If you are from engineering student, if you are BSc maths students, then these topics will be familiar with you. Okay? Some more properties I want to discuss with you with no overlapping वाले question पर. ठीक है? Some students asked about that in humanities there is one benefit and most important benefit, that in humanities the subject course is overlapping with the GS papers. So I am asking to you that if you take humanity and you think that subject course is overlapping with GS papers, although you attain some questions in GS papers, but you are in loss not by taking mathematics optional. How? Let me show here. How mathematics optional is more beneficial than other humanity optional. If you take any one of the humanity optional, then 300 plus is another thing. Let me discuss only 300 is very tough to achieve. Yes, this is not very easy to attain 300 marks in humanity subject, but in mathematics optional you can attain 375 marks minimum, which is also recorded. 375 marks with your right strategy. And what is the strategy? Let me discuss with you. If you take any one of the humanity subject in all general study papers, for example, say polity, history, geography, or any other subject of humanity, and you think that these types of optional subject will overlap with your general study papers, then one thing I want to discuss with you. Please see here. If you take, for example, history as an optional, okay? You have taken history as an optional. Now, history is asked in GS paper 1. In 250 of total marks, only 90 marks of history is considered. If there is 90 marks of history in GS1, GS paper 1, 90 marks. Total questions of history in mains exams, GS1, 90 marks. And you have history as an option. Then in every GS paper record, only 50% marks will be allotted. Are you understanding? If you take history optional, then maximum to maximum you can score 50% of this 90, then can score up to up to 50% of 90, which is 45 marks. Okay, okay, because out of 10 marks question, a maximum of 6 marks will be allotted, and it is average that out of 10 marks in humanity subject, only 5 marks will be given to every student who has written their answer very neat and clean. So let me write that only 50%, 45 marks will be given to any student, okay, who have taken history as an optional. Not only history, any humanity subject. I am taking just an example, okay, but one student who have not taken history as an optional, who will score less marks than 45. The student who has optional subject has deeper knowledge in history and he score 45 marks. 50% of 90. 90 is the marks section of history in total of 250 marks of paper 1. Now, one student, other student not from history optional, okay, other student not from history optional. If this student, this green student, is weak in history, then he can score up to 30 marks easily. Are you understanding points? This student who is not from history background and he did not take optional as history, as compared to first student, pink student, take history optional and 50% marks 45. This green student only scored 30 marks. Then how much marks it will be lost? How much marks? The loss of 15 marks. Are you understanding? How much marks? 15 marks. It's okay. This student getting 45 and this student getting 30. So he is losing 15 marks. It's okay. This student, pink color student, who have taken history as an optional and scored 15 marks more in GS paper 1 of history section. Now come to its optional score. Optional score. Optional score. Yes, come to its optional score. Yes, please see it very carefully. The maximum score is 500, and out of 500 in history 300 marks is very tough, very hard nut to crack. Why? Because 270 to 300 marks if this student is getting, between 270 to 300 marks, 300 is the maximum marks. This is the maximum marks he can attain. 300 is very good marks, which is in history optional. So in this category, if he attains 300 marks, I am assuming that he is getting 300 marks maximum, okay? But if this green student takes mathematics as optional, if he takes maths optional, then in mathematics optional, please see here, 300 is very low marks. Are you understanding? 300 is very low marks. Then in this category, if you can attain, then 300 marks is very low, and here 270 marks is very low. then 350 to 375 marks can be attained very easily in small steps, in very easily as compared to this history labor. How much study you in history? Put forward, put this effort 50% in mathematics, then you can achieve 350 marks to 375 marks. Please see here, see here. Here, the students, this green students is losing 15 marks. But here, see, if you compare minimum 270 to 350, 80 marks margin. And if from here, you are comparing from maximum to this minimum also, then again 50 marks is more in this optional subject also. So in category, if you are losing 15 marks, then you can achieve up to 50 to 75 marks more. 50 to 75 marks more in mathematics. So the main reason to overlapping the optional with your GS papers is only this, that you can achieve 15 marks more. 15, maximum 20 marks. But on other hand, if you take right strategy with mathematics optional, then if you are losing 10 to 15 marks here, then you will achieve 50 to 75 marks in mathematics. And this is the real game of UPSC with mathematics. If you understand this complete scenario, then you can understand that how mathematics optional will be more beneficial with your other humanity optional subjects. So I tried to show you that this is the real scenario in which you can achieve more marks in spite of getting overlapping criteria. So if you lose something in GS, then don't you worry. Every student in this category attains approximately 30 to 33 marks in history optional or any other humanity optional. If you are from humanity optional, then you can get 10 to 15 or maximum 20 more marks, but in optional subject, you cannot get 300 plus marks very easily. But in this category, 350 marks is easy to attain in maths optional. Okay? So please try to understand, revisit yourself and rethink yourself that how is mathematics optional is more beneficial to you and how it can help with your preparation. And mathematics optional is one of the most important optional subject in which the history recorded that it is highest scoring subject. One last thing I want to show you, this is the last year trending topics criteria. Yes. Please see, with right strategy of mathematics, you can get a good marks and you can score a very good marks in mathematics. So these are the trending topics in past some years, let's say 7 years asked in UPSC CSE from 2015 to 2021. Yes. I have made you an analytic data so that you can compare which topic is more useful and which topic is less useful. You can't skip any single topic, but you can manage how efficiently and how focused you will be discussing and you will be studying your topics. So let's have a look. Ordinary differential equation in 2015, 70 marks, 70 marks, 87 marks. And are you seeing this? 106. Yes, of course. 106 marks only from ordinary differential equation in 2017, and it can be repeated. Yes, it can be repeated everywhere because UPSC is unexpected. It can make you surprised by every single move. Okay? In 2019, 70 marks, 77 marks, and this year, 2021, 75 marks. On an average, 79.2 is the average of ODE, which is approximately 80 marks. Are you seeing this? This is the real data, by which you can measure your preparation accordingly with the syllabus. I have made this table by the preference of topics which are asked in UPSC last 7 years, that what is the trend from this, which topic, which type of questions, and from which topic how many marks questions are asked in the previous years. Next is calculus. See, 93 in 2015, 75, 60, 95 once again in 2018 sorry, and 2019 70, फिर से 80 and 65 this year 2021, and this is approximately 76.8 average approximately 76.8, which is nearby 80. And this is the calculus paper. This is the calculus paper. Okay? And besides this, see here, numerical analysis and computer programming, numerical analysis, which is a gift also, very small topics, and in which you can take 45, 60, 75, 75, 90, 75, 80, regularly increasing this trend, and it is approximately 71.4. 71.4. Mechanics and fluid dynamics, topic number 4, 7. Please see here. These two topics are assumed to be the topics of statics and dynamics and mechanics and fluid dynamics. Mechanics and fluid dynamics. So, in this category, you can see here 65, 70, 50, 50, 80, 70, 75, and approximate average is 65.7 of this topic, mechanics and fluid dynamics. Okay. On the other hand, dynamics and statics, 84, 75, 60, 22. This is the only year in which statics and dynamics is asked in very low marks, 22. Besides this, this topic is ongoing to high level, 70 to 60 marks, and the average is approximate 63 here. And you can see these 4 or 5 topics, partial differential equation, which is approximately 70 marks. Are you seeing this? In green colors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 6 topics are so high that you can make them as your preference, and these 6, 7 topics make you very high scoring result. Besides this, other topics are very important. You can see real analysis, 60 marks average every year. Linear algebra, 64.7 marks. This is also very good scoring subject. And vector analysis, see here, vector analysis, 56 marks. These are very, very easy topics where you can achieve 56 marks on an average. In every year, these questions will be asked. Okay, complex analysis is another small topic, about 55 marks, and in this category, you can achieve more and more marks in this complex analysis also. So in this table, I want to show you that these are the trending topics, and in accordance these topics, you have to be very prayerful, very careful, and very strategically preparing for these topics according to the trending topics also. Very last thing, abstract algebra. Please see here the irony of abstract algebra. Please see here, abstract algebra is the topic which takes more time and lots of fear in the students that this is very tough. Obviously it is, but the average marks obtained in UPSC CSE trend is only 40 to 42. Yes, 42. So this is the topic which is to be assumed very hard, very time taking, and people take more time on this topic, and its score is going day by day very decreasing. So UPSC is not interested in these topics or not. It is not predictable. That's why it can be varying, but the trending of these topics is shown by me to you, that you can make your preference by preparing these topics very carefully. At last, our strategy. This is our strategy by our institutions and by me, myself. So, smart preparation, number one. Smart preparation means, which I have discussed with you in the last table, according to that trend, we have to study in such a way that which topic is more important. We will not discuss unnecessary topics or the topics which are out of context. These are the just time wasting things. So smart study means select the specific area, select the specific topics, prepare them strongly so that no question will be released by your preparation. So select a specific area of each topic and don't leave any topic as choice. This is very important thing, because as I have discussed the pattern of the question, in every question there are subdivision of sections A, B, C, D. There are subparts of question 1, subparts of question 5, which have multiple types of questions from each topic. So you can't skip any topic. We will discuss, we will study every single topic, but what should be the extent of strength, time, practice, and what is the value of that topic, it will be decided by me. It will be decided by our classroom program, that how much time it will be given to a particular topic according to their trending scores. Okay, next. Besides this, after every class, daily class from Monday to Friday, we will take Monday to Friday class, and after every class, daily class test, there will be a class test of 15 to 20 minutes, which will be on the basis of your understanding that in 3 hours class, what have you got and what you understood. A small test will be delivered to you. After which, a weekly test on every Saturday, Monday to Friday, regular class. After that, 20-minute regular daily class test, and every Saturday there will be a weekly test. So there is 2 tests per day, 1, and weekly number 2. Otherwise, unit test completion, एक यूनिट कंप्लीट जब हो जाएगी उसके बाद आपको एक टेस्ट देना होगा. ओके, आफ्टर दिस syllabus oriented one mock test. Syllabus oriented one mock test. When one book is completed, then one syllabus oriented previous year questions, including every aspects of the book, will be asked in this mock test. So, one daily test, weekly test, unit complete test, and another is syllabus complete test. There are 4 tests. Okay, and at last, previous year questions test series. इसके साथ में टेस्ट नंबर 5. ये 5 टेस्ट जो हम लास्ट में टेस्ट सीरीज चलाएंगे, वो 5वां 5th टेस्ट ये हुआ. Such 5 topics, 5 tests will include the topics from previous years, trending topics, and everything, every concept in each of the 5 topics. In such a way, a single topic is asked, is given by you as a test 5 times. Single topic is studied by yourself besides regular class 5 times, then this will make your study very efficient, and there is no need for your extra attempt for your next year. So if you take this strategy that one topic is studied 5 times, it means it will make your study very efficient. Besides this, there is our mentorship program, in which we assess that in how much test, how you are working on, how is your improvements, and what to do for your further improvements. It will be assessed by our mentorship program, and we will put a doubt session, and we will take a doubt session on the basis of your assignment problems given to you, on the basis of your previous records of test, that how can we help you to improve your results. Okay, Besides this, by our institutions, by me, there will be printed notes given to every student of every single topic, in which we have discussed every strategical single points and concept very neat and clean. So it will be given by us to you, and this is the strategy of our mathematics optional. I hope I have discussed very neat and clear strategy for mathematics and tried to clear your doubts so that you can take mathematics optional for your civil service examination. By this, I am concluding my lecture here, and by the time we will discuss more strategy with our optional mathematics and many other strategies, please keep tuned in with our Youth Pathshala app for your reference, and you can take demo lectures there. You can take how the syllabus is covered, and you can imagine that how the course will be delivered to you. Okay? So for this, please download the Youth Pathshala app for your preparation to rock on and for your career. Okay? So by this, I am concluding my session here. Thank you. Thank you very much.